because a lot of y'all are thinking that blacks hates blacks, and I don't know why, because I believe Trump loved him some black folks. But not only did Trump look out for American blacks, but he went to the motherland and he looked out for our African brothers and sisters. Because y'all know I'm African, I'm Nigerian. So to all the Christian Nigerians out there, aren't we proud that Trump invited Nathaniel Basil or Basil? I'm not saying his name right, but I've heard of him. He's a Nigerian gospel musician, but I've never actually listened to him except one time because I was talking to a dude on the phone that was Ibu, and he would tell me about Nathaniel Basie or Bazzi. Okay, as a Nigerian, but Black American, I am glad that Trump didn't just look out for African Americans, but he took it to the motherland and was like, let me invite a Nigerian to this White House breakfast. And that's what he did. He invited Nathaniel Bassey, I believe. And for the first time 2 days ago, I was looking at Apostle, oh my gosh, what is his name? Oh gosh, I can't remember his name, but he's an apostolic, I think he's a Nigerian apostle, and he's so anointed. And anyway, through him, he had invited Nathaniel Basie or Bassey to one of his conferences, and he was playing, and I was like, man, this like something out the Bible. This like a David, like he's like a Bible carrier, and it was so anointed. So that was my first time really listening to Nathaniel Basie or Bassey. Excuse my ignorance, because I'm not pronouncing the last name, and I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation. But that was my first time really listening to him. And as an African American, and also as a Nigerian, because I am Nigerian, I was a but American raised. I was like, I love the fact that Trump didn't just be like, I'm just looking out for blacks. I'm gonna just stop with black folks in America. I'm gonna look out for the motherland. Let me invite some real strong, you know what I'm saying, Nigerian Africans up in this mud. And Nathaniel Basie or Bassey is very anointed. And I was so blessed to listen to him for the first time. So one time for the Christian conservatives, Nigerians, and Nigerian and Nathaniel Bassey. Okay. And now let's move on. The DEI thing. The DEI thing has me very confused right now. Okay, because like y'all, like I've already told you guys that I don't believe in affirmative action. I don't believe somebody should get the job based off their color, but because of their capabilities instead, like what they bring to the table. I also don't believe in DEI as far as hiring somebody based off of how they identify sexually. Like, if you want to identify as a robot, I'm not going to give you the job because you choose to be delusional. If you want to identify as a man, but you're really a woman, I'm not going to give you the job because you choose to be delusional. If you want to identify as a Cracker Jack box, I'm not going to give you the job because you choose to be delusional. And I'm not going to give you the job because of your race either. I'm going to give you the job because you have the right skills for the job at hand. So that part of DEI I'm sure about. But this part of DEI concerning Target, aside from um I stopped shopping at Target last year because of their, I don't know if this was DEI, but they had the Valencia kid thing, but because they had the LGBTQ thing, and I gave up Starbucks and Target at the same time, sometime in the summer of last year. And that was the hardest thing I had to do, but I finally got over it. But them having the LGBTQ thing rubbed me the wrong way. Them having the demonic Valencia thing for kids, demon worship, and Satanist shirts for children, I totally boycotted Target, or I just stopped shopping there, okay? I can't tell you guys to do the same thing because you can do what you want to do. You're grown. As a Christian, I felt compelled not to shop there. So that's what I did. And I have stopped, I don't do Starbucks no more either because I realized they're a marine spirit. It's demonic. So I stopped it. After a fast, God allowed me to realize that during the fast. So I gave up Target and I gave up Starbucks. But my whole thing, y'all, this is what I don't get. So as far as hiring somebody, like I said, based off their color or how they identify sexual orientation or sex and all that, I don't agree with that. I get that part of DEI. But the part of DEI where they're saying, they're taking away from people like Tabitha Brown and that have their merchandise, their hair products or skin products in Target, I don't get that. Like, to say you're taking away from minorities that are not white just because they're a different minority or supposedly under some, like, how do you know you're a DEI hire in the first place? If I'm just partnering with you and this is my product and I'm saying put it on your shelf, how does that make me a DEI just because I'm black? I'm just in business with this company. So somebody help me understand, what is this policy about DEI where they're getting everybody everybody that's black or of color out of Targets and Walmart just because they're of color. The whole sex thing, the whole orientation thing, the LGBTQ thing, I get that. The whole, oh, I'm gonna hire you just because you're black, I get that. But when it comes to making a partnership with these people, that shouldn't matter what color I am. If we're already, get away from it. If we're already in partnership with them, why are you going to take away my thing and call that DEI just because I'm black? I'm not a DEI hire. I'm in partnership with you. My question is, how do you know if you a DEI hire? Like, does your application say DEI hire? I hired you because you were black? Who knows that they're a DEI hire? Who really knows? With some people, I think you can tell, because I think with gay people, they just hire them because they gay. I know they DEI hires because like the firefighter over Los Angeles, the assistant firefighter chief over Los Angeles that said, I'm not even going to pick those men that say I can't pick them up. They shouldn't be in there in the first place. She can't even do her job. So obviously she's a DEI hire. The mayor of Los Angeles, DEI hire. The fires are happening. She's vacationing in Africa. Obviously, you don't know what you're working. I feel like they were obviously just picked because of their ethnicity and or / sexual orientation and who they choose to sleep with. But otherwise than that, how do you know when you're going to a job interview that, oh, you're a DEI hire? Like, do they put on the application, you're a DEI hire, we're hiring you, we marked enough black people or Chinese or Asians or Hispanics for the day? Like, how do you know? I don't get it. Or Scottish people, like, I don't know what the heck. So I just don't get that. So somebody explain to me, how does someone know if they're even a DEI hire? I don't get that. And secondly, they said that they're only laying off federal DEI hires. Like, so if you have a federal job, so it doesn't affect everybody. And also people are blaming Trump for this Target thing. And they're like, no, Trump didn't tell Target that they have to fire DEI. Target decided to do this themselves. So y'all need to stop blaming Target for these things. Target took it upon themselves to say to these black people, we don't want your products no more, or they're not selling, is what I'm hearing. Trump had nothing to do with that. Trump said we just not gonna hire people off their color no more. What he didn't do was tell Target, hey, fire all your black-owned business partners. Fire Tabitha Brown and fire anybody that's a minority. Target took it upon themselves to say we're getting rid of DEI. And again, I told y'all the DEI parts I don't agree with, but just to say, okay, you're black and we do business with you, then you must be a DEI. I don't get that. I don't get why they would be like taking people's stuff off the shelf just because they're of color if they're already in business. So I'm kind of confused about that part because that doesn't seem fair and it's not right. Everyone should have an equal opportunity regardless of their color. And for you to just say, oh, because you're a black woman or Asian, of any type of color, Native American, whatever color, Native American, Pakistani, and I'm going to take your product off because you're not white, is just a little delusional to me. That don't make sense. So I'm confused. So somebody help me understand that. But the good thing I want to talk about, y'all, basically is before, because when I read y'all comments, I'm gonna read your comments in a minute. The thing I want to talk about, the good thing, aside from this DEI confusion that I'm kind of experiencing right now, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I don't really understand certain parts about it when it comes to Target, even though I don't shop there no more, but I know there are people of color that have their products there. So I'm like, I'm concerned about that because those are still my people and they need to be able to thrive. But we also should own our own. Like, this should encourage you to own your own stores that are greater than Walmart's and Targets, to create your own black markets and franchises and black businesses amongst other black entrepreneurs. Talking to black people right now. Why do you always have to settle for a slice of the pizza or a bite off the man's burger? Why can't you create your own restaurant, theme park, store amongst other black entrepreneurs? Why they can't pay us? Why are we begging them to have a piece, 10% of their pie, when all the check is they're getting the whole check and we getting a crumb, just like in slavery, if that? Why y'all begging to get a bite off of a man's burger? I get it, especially if you're a business owner. This can create revenue for you. You can really come up, you can be rich. But my whole thing is you could be so much more wealthier if you just own the whole building. So why are we fighting for a bite off of the man's burger? And they're telling you, if they are, we don't want you anymore because you're black or DEI. Like, I don't get certain parts of the DEI thing. I can't even, like, even as a conservative, I'm not getting certain parts of this, especially with Target. So if they're telling you that your business isn't good enough because you're a minority, why can't you just create your own stores that are greater, bigger, create more mass production than a Target and a Walmart. They should see our black owned stores that we're going to create and our black owned markets amongst black entrepreneurs and be like, what is a Target or a Walmart? We shop from that, sister. We shop from that, brother. We go to the black market. We go to this. Like, it should be something greater than that, where you don't have to be fighting for a bite off of the man's burger because you created your own chain. The whole check comes to you. You're not just fighting for a piece of it. Black people, we always settling. We always think once we get a piece, it's good because we came from nothing. We came from a struggle. We came from slavery. We don't have to settle for a piece no more. We can own. We need to work towards ownership. I'm working toward ownership, but I have to take steps to get there. But we need to stop complaining about, oh, they taking our products out. Okay, they taking our products out. See the blessing in it. Create your own stores. Create your own black markets among black entrepreneurs. It's enough of us to do it. We just don't stick together because we always want to fight for a bite off of the man's burger, and we always killing each other over $20. Create your own, black people. This is a blessing, and y'all need to wake up and think like entrepreneurs and think like chain creators and store creators and entrepreneurs of these black markets that don't exist yet outside of Amazon and your personal little stores online that you have with your own links. I'm talking about something greater and global, just like a Walmart or Amazon, but that's black owned business only. So we don't have to worry about being called a DEI in those situations, because I am still conservative. But in those situations, if they're really trying to say, hey, we're gonna clock y'all, we're not gonna work with you because you're a DEI, even though we signed this business deal to do business with Target or Walmart for $3, if they're really doing that, create. Even if they're not, why we can't just create our own chains? Why we can't think like all these other minorities that come to America and create their own? I'm talking about creating something bigger than Walmart, Target, and Amazon combined, so that people look back and say, what is Walmart, Target, and these black people don't really got it together? If we really get it together and come together, what a force we would be to the rest of the world. But because we don't stick together, y'all, we don't come together. But if we did, what a force. And that's what we need to do. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, and then I'm gonna read y'all comments, is the good thing that Trump, he's doing so many things. I think Trump is a hero right now, okay? Certain parts of the DEI, I agree with most of them. This other part with the Target thing, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm seeing some like, but that's not Trump. That's this company deciding they want to do that. He didn't say to Target, oh, fire all the black folks. No, he created, when he was in there last time, he was signing deals to send millions to black-owned businesses, but the Congress or somebody didn't approve it. See, that's what y'all don't know. So you got to check the facts. But what I want to talk about is one of the good things he's doing, as well as getting rid of illegal immigrants and dangerous people that are over here. And I know it's not all illegals, but it's some. Aside from that, okay, cleaning up the country, massive cleanup. He has given the Navy, they say the Navy lost most personnel, the most personnel being like 3,000 soldiers during the time of COVID because they would not take the COVID shot. And so he has reinstated, he has reinstated 3,000 Navy soldiers, like 700 Army soldiers, and I think he said like 800 Air Force soldiers. So he's given about altogether about 4,000 or 5,000 soldiers back their jobs. And not only that, round of applause for Trump, black conservatism, this thing, but baby, he gave them back pay since 2021. They finna get a nice little penny. They finna get a nice little check. They finna get a nice little square of cheese cut off from the block, baby. They about to get some new furniture, get that new car, put their down payment for the house, because baby, he's giving them back pay. The Democrats would never. I think this is so honorable of Trump to do. I think this is what a real hero and a real president would do, unlike Biden's administration that fired lots of people that would not get the shot for religious reasons, or they didn't find it safe enough. And if you guys didn't know, I went into the Army during the same time, 2020, the whole year. I did not get the COVID shot because I didn't feel like I needed to. I felt like they was pressuring us, like, I don't want the shot, I don't need it, you're not going to force me to get it or wear the mask. I didn't get it. But then in 2021, in September of 2021, I joined the Army, and they literally told me and the other soldiers that were there at it wasn't basic training yet. I forgot what the first part of it was called. They said it was the part where you go get all your shots, they check your health, stuff like that, and then they ship you off the basic training. You got to go through this other part first. You get your uniform, you get your shots. So during this time, they said to us, if you guys do not get the COVID shot, you will get fired. And I did not want to get that COVID shot. I was not for that COVID shot. I felt like they were trying to mandate it, which they was. And I was like, why are they doing this? But I was like, I need this job. I need the job. Now, it's not the mark of the beast, but I took it. So I would have been one of them soldiers that would have been reinstated, because if I would have just stayed what I was doing, I wouldn't have got the shot. I was not getting that shot for nobody. Like before I joined the army, I only got it because I really wanted to join the army, and it still didn't work out. But so I just think I want to give. I don't want to make it about me. I just want to say that I think that Trump is doing a wonderful thing with that, and I think that that's not getting enough attention right now. It's getting overshadowed by the DEI policy, and I guess for some good reason, because there's some things going on with it that I'm even questioning, as far as the Target thing and them getting rid of certain entrepreneurs and their merchandise. I don't know. That's confusing me. But he is doing a wonderful thing with the military and giving them back their jobs. Biden and Kamala took their jobs. It's people that did not get the shot for religious reasons, or because they feared something coming into their blood, or they was just like me. They was like, baby, you're not going to force me to do anything. But I end up getting the shot. So I'm glad these people, these soldiers, I'm glad for their service. Thank you for your service to any veterans and to any active duty out there. I'm glad that these soldiers and lieutenants, whatever they happen to be, sergeants and colonels and everybody else, are being reinstated to their rightful place, back into the Army, military, and Navy, back into these forces that are American forces, because we need them and they need their jobs and they want to continue serving. And I feel like Trump has done an honorable job in doing that. So I wanted to point that out, because I was like, yes, Trump, and the back pay, and he's reinstated them. And they was all smiles when I seen it. When I seen the little clip. Get away, Bella. Go sit down. Go sit down. All right, so y'all, I wanted to talk about that because ain't nobody talking about that, but the Democrats are the ones that fired them and Trump restated them. So y'all got to admit that that was a wonderful thing he did. If you got some military personnel, you might have one that was one of the ones that lost their jobs. And I hope that he does the same with nurses, because if y'all can remember, a lot of nurses lost their job because they wasn't taking the shot. A lot of it was against their religious beliefs for some of them, and for some of them, they just was feeling like me, like, why are you forcing this and mandating this on me? So hopefully he gets some of those nurses that lost their jobs as well. I also heard that there was a Black young lady, y'all, I forgot her name, but I did a video on her a couple months ago. She went to an abortion clinic and protested, and Kamala's administration put her in prison. And I heard that Trump got her out of he pardoned her. Her husband picked her up from a North Carolina prison, I think last week or the week before that, one of those nights. And I was so happy. So I hope he did the same for the elderly Jewish lady. And there was some more Christians in jails or prison because they was telling people not to get abortions, and Kamala administration locked them up. So I'm pretty sure Trump pardoned them, and let's keep them in our prayers for the ones that may not be pardoned yet. But I feel like Trump is doing a bunch of great things that Christians and conservatives are not looking at, because it's kind of being overshadowed by some of these other liberal issues. All right, so let me read y'all comments before I get off. I don't want this to go too long. If you think that Trump cares about America, you're delusional. Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson, what color are you? Let's talk about it. What color, what ethnicity are you? All right, let's go. The Metacore gamer. What's the... Yeah, I don't know what he's saying. I'm not a gamer. The medical gamer. I'm not a gamer. You said you're a miracle and you have autism. Can you be on here since you're 15? I think does say for adults. So if we just going by adults, I guess you would have to be 18. Otherwise than that, I'm not talking about anything too bad. I keep my stuff pretty clean. Most of the time I'm either talking about Jesus or I'm talking about something dealing with Black folks, or some issues dealing with America versus liberal and conservative. So I don't know. I would say in general, yes, because my conversation is pretty clean, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess you're still a kid, so I guess you have to be 18 or older. But I would say you should be okay because my conversation is clean. I don't talk about nothing bad on here because I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. But I'm also human, and I'm also a Black woman. That means I also go through issues in life that I talk about, because I'm not perfect, but I'm striving to be like Jesus. But I'm also, I am a human, and I go through human situations. So I talk about those human situations because I go through things just like everybody else. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about that again. Black folks, let me encourage y'all. It's time that we come together and create our own stores and our own businesses and like a huge black market that everybody else where the man would have to pay us. If we all walked away from Target and Walmart, they would be begging us to come back. Black folks alone. Black folks alone. I know they say we ain't that much of the population, but we shall be giving them business, baby. I used to love me some Target, baby, because I felt bougie. I was like, I've arrived. I don't shop at Walmart anymore. I shop at Target. It was less people. It felt like it was a richer audience. Baby, I was like, bourgeois, bougie black has arrived. What do you mean? I'm here, honey. So I love shopping at Target. But if we all walked away and we created our own businesses and our own stores and they had to pay us, what a difference. What a threat we would be to the man as far as entrepreneurship, where they could never say, oh, let's take them off the shelf because they're DEI when we're just business partners. They wouldn't just look at us as DEI in that matter. Okay? Because I am conservative, but I understand still as a black woman that there is racism out there toward us when we want to be entrepreneurs. There is some shady stuff. Get out of there. So y'all, we need to come together. We need to create our own. Stop begging them for crumbs. Stop begging for crumbs off the man's table. We not on the plantation. We ain't picking cotton. We not eating chitlins no more. Well, some of y'all is. And I ain't gonna lie, they be good with some hot sauce. But baby, it's time for you to eat the steak, the lobster, the asparagus. Baby, it's time for you to create your own businesses where they have to pay you. Let me leave y'all with that. Black folks. I want to talk to my own people. I want to talk to my own people because everybody else be coming together creating their own, but we don't. We be begging for crumbs. We beg for a little bit of crumb and then we just settle. When we think we get a little bit, oh, we reached 1 million. You can be a billionaire like Trump, but we settle for a crumb. No, create your own where they have to pay us, where they couldn't call us DEI because we own it and they have to pay to get into our stuff. Where they say, oh, we need to get into that because, baby, they making. Dumb dog. Lord, forgive me. She over there eating that poison. It's poison on my floor. I keep it on there, keep that stuff clean because his apartment's kind of older. I ain't know. Create your own, black folks. See the blessing in it. Sometimes the Lord got to take things away for you to think outside the box. Okay, for my black conservatives and black entrepreneurs, I ain't talking about no LGBT stuff. They're selling hair care and skin products. This is a blessing for you to create your own wealth, generational, create our own stores where we sell it to each other and we can't call each other, oh, I got to fire you because you're a DEI. We don't have to worry about saying that because we running it. It's ours. We could really, black folks, we could really be bad if we get it together and come together and create our own. Let's create our own massive black market where they like Amazon, what? Walmart, what? Target, what? Black bourgeois. Let's do the thing, baby. I don't care where you from. If you're from the hood, let's get there. Let's own ownership. Say it with me, black folks. Ownership. Stop begging for crumbs when you can own and have your own and we can sell amongst each other and create wealth for our children and our people. Y'all ain't thinking, but y'all whining over Target. Y'all whining over DEI. Bump them. Make your own stores. It's time for us to sell to us. It's time for us to elevate us. It's time for us to go in business with each other and stop begging for crumbs from the man. I don't need your crumbs. I don't need your leftovers no more. I'm not on the plantation. I can have my own steak, lobster, wine, this, that, even I don't drink. Okay, so non-X, so maybe some grape juice and orange juice. But I can have my own caviar. I don't have to beg for your crumbs. I can get it myself. Why don't we go into business with each other, but we steady working for them and they turn around and out us in scenarios like this is what it's sounding like and call us DEI. Come on, y'all. Think outside the box. Ownership. This is your time to own. This is your time to take over, black people. Everybody, all these other minorities doing it. They got their own businesses. Why are we just begging for crumbs when we can create something bigger than a Target? What is a Target? If black folks came together, baby, do you know how much swag? You know how much we put people on? Do you know that we run the fashion game, the makeup, the hair? Like people copy us. And y'all talking about some Target where we can create our own black market? That sets the trends. We set trends. We make trends. And everybody else follows our trends. And y'all worry about Target. Ownership. Ownership. It's time to create our own and sell to us. It's time for us to elevate us. Not to beg for crumbs from the man anymore. Not to be called a DEI anymore. if us elevate us, if us go into business with us, if us create our own black markets, massive global black markets, not just in America, but in Africa, the whole diaspora, if the whole diaspora comes together, if all the Africans unite, African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, even Afro Latinos, if all the diaspora came together, oh baby, we could do the thing. We could run some things. We just need to come together. So ownership is key. Buying, God bless. If y'all know the answer to this DEI, how do you know if you a DEI hire? Let me know. Because how do you know if you a DEI hire? Besides, some people it's kind of obvious. Like they don't know what they're doing. You know they kind of, okay, they just hired them. Otherwise, how do you know? Ownership.